Hello friends and welcome, I'm Mike Birmingham. This week we look back at air travel from the past, wonder at the Oak Island mystery, find out interesting facts about the human body, watch graphic artists at play and see an inspiring video. First, our brain teaser asks us, why do some people say that Captain Kirk has 3 ears? The answer to come at the end. Some vintage photography now. Some images now of the golden age of travel in the 50s and 60s. Dublin Airport was once known as Collinstown Airport, and here the original terminal building is shortly after completion. A little later we see from these John Hind classic postcards 50s and 60s representations. Next, in 1959, it's fashion, high fashion, ladies boarding a plane wearing all Pierre Cardin. Classy looks that never go out of style. New Zealand now, and air hostesses of the National Airways Corporation, later to become Air New Zealand. And in Scandinavia we go for our final picture to see the interior and service of flight on board first class in the 1960s. World of mystery now. The Oak Island mystery tells stories of buried treasure and unexplained objects found or near Oak Island in Nova Scotia. Since the 18th century, a number of attempts have been made to locate treasure and artefacts. Theories about artefacts present on the island range from pirate treasure to Shakespearean manuscripts to possibly the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant, with the Grail and the Ark having potentially been buried there by the Knights Templar. Various items have surfaced over the years that were found on the island, some of which have been carbon dated and found to be hundreds of years old. Although these items can be considered treasure in their own right, no significant main treasure has ever been found. Now the site consists of digs, and those digs have been done over the centuries by all kinds of explorers. The main one, and the focus of the main one, is the Money Pit. The curse is said to have originated more than a century ago and states that 7 men will die in the search for the treasure before it's found. To date, 6 men have died in their efforts to find the treasure. Now, this search spawned a multi-series History Channel program called The Curse for Oak Island, which has thus far ran for 8 seasons to the year of 2021, following brothers Rick and Marty Lagina and their efforts. They're originally from Kingsford in Michigan, and they're after this speculated treasure, or indeed historical artifacts believed to be on the island. Following in the footsteps of lifetime island residents and treasure hunters Dan Blankenship, Fred Nolan and other historical figures, the series seeks to unravel the story of the how, why, who, where and when treasure came to be associated with the island. To this end they've entertained many theorists, but most importantly and impressively, they have themselves archaeologists, a blacksmithing expert, chemists, divers, geologists, heavy equipment drilling and piling operators, historians, a metal detecting expert, sonar experts, researchers and surveyors. If you're looking for something that isn't Hollywood fantasy like Indiana Jones and Lara Croft, then this is a must-see show. Here's a peek.
There is an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years. So far, they have found a stone slab with strange symbols carved into it, mysterious fragments of human bone, and a lead cross, whose origin may stretch back to the days of the Knights Templar. To date, 6 men have died trying to solve the mystery. And, according to legend, 1 more will have to die before the treasure can be found.
And now to some nostalgia from Ireland. Some events from this week back in time include June 14th, 1995, the untimely death of Donegal-born blues guitarist and singer-songwriter Rory Gallagher. He dies at age 47 following complications after a liver transplant. June 15th, 1919, pioneering airmen Alcock and Brown land at Clifton, County Galway and complete the first non-stop transatlantic flight. 1967, Black Velvet Band by Johnny Kelly and the Capital Show Band reaches number 1 in the Irish charts. 1979, the memorial to James Larkin, who was born in 1876 and later died in 1947, is unveiled on O'Connell Street, Dublin. Larkin was a revolutionary socialist dominating the Irish trade union movement. George Bernard Shaw once described him as the greatest living Irishman since Parnell. June 17, 1867, the birth of John Gregg, publisher and inventor of the Gregg shorthand system, from Rockharry, County Monaghan. June 20th, 1992, U2 take part in a Greenpeace protest at the Sellafield nuclear plant in Cumbria, northwest England. Wearing radiation suits, the band travels in rubber dinghies with Irish dirt allegedly contaminated by the power plant, depositing the drums back on Sellafield grounds. And now to question of the week. What are some interesting facts about the human body? The human body, it's an amazing feat of biological engineering. So here are 10 things that you may not know about this wonder of creation. Your body gives off enough heat in 30 minutes to bring half a gallon of water to the boil. Your left lung is smaller than your right lung. This is to make room for your heart. The strongest muscle in the human body is the tongue, with the hardest bone being the jaw. Feet have 800,000 sweat glands and can produce more than a pint of sweat a day. Sneezes regularly exceed 100 miles per hour, while coughs cough in or clock in at 60 miles per hour. A baby's head is 1/4 of the length of its own body, but by the age of 25 will be only 1/8 of its total length. This is because people's heads grow at a much slower rate than the rest of their bodies. Now, it's not possible to tickle yourself. Try it. You won't be able to do it. This is because when you attempt to tickle yourself, you are totally aware of the exact time and manner in which the tickling will occur, unlike when someone else surprises you and tickles you. What's the lifespan of a human hair? Single strand. 3 to 7 years, believe it or not, on average. Every day, the average person loses between 60 and 100 strands of hair. But don't worry, you've got to lose over 50% of your scalp hairs before anybody notices anything. Your eyes, they're always the same size from birth, but your nose and your ears, well, they never stop growing. And your brain, it operates in the same amount of power as a 10-watt light bulb, even when you're sleeping. In fact, the brain is actually more active at nighttime than during the day. Video now. To TikTok now and user Keithy Tomo, who illustrates how when you can't see what's going on behind you, it's hard to know what's actually going on.
Hey, can you take the video back? Do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Oh, I can't. Go on, Dad. Come on. No, I don't like this. Ready? Yeah, lift him in. No, that's a fucking jump, that is.
Paul, go floppy. Go floppy.
Show him again, Dad.
Go floppy, Paul. It'd be easier if you go floppy.
Ready like that. I'm not doing anything right, and I just take your punch. Ready, go. I can't do it. Come on.
Come on, you've got to do it.
Salvage coming out the sap. You can't be taking each other out.
Lock your arms, Jake. Lock. Lock.
Show him one more time. No.
Well, I must try that one myself. Now to Jose Chavez on a video where soldiers face a terrifying threat. Well, it's interesting to see what phobias people have, but giant rodents are definitely up there with the best of them. Now, last week we looked at some of the strange images graphic artists produce just for fun, so here's part 2. Our final part of these weird and wonderful images to come next week. Brain teaser answer: why do some people say that Captain Kirk has 3 ears? Well, he has the right ear and the left ear. And did you get it? The final frontier. Whew. Tell that one if you haven't heard it. The final word, quote, affirmation, words of comfort and inspiration to an inspiring video now. This is the Black Dot inspirational short story. A teacher asked his students to prepare for a surprise test. They waited anxiously at their desks for the test to begin. The teacher handed out all the question papers, with the text facing down as usual. He asked his students to turn the page and begin. To everyone's surprise, there were no questions, just a black dot in the middle of the page. Seeing the expression on everyone's face, the teacher told them, "I want you to write about what you see there." So the students were confused, yet they got started on the inexplicable task. At the end of class, the teacher took up all of their answer papers. He started reading each one aloud in front of the students, and all of them, without exception, described the black dot, trying to explain its position in the middle of the sheet and other things about the black dot. After all had been read, the classroom went silent, and the teacher began to explain. "I'm not going to grade you on this," he said. "I just wanted to give you something to think about. No one wrote about the white part of the paper. Everyone just focused on the black dot. And the same thing happens in our lives. We have a white paper, a blank canvas if you will, to observe and enjoy, yet almost always we focus on the dark spots, the health issues that bother us, the lack of money, the complicated relationships with family, the disappointment with a friend. The dark spots are very small compared to everything good in our lives. However, those are that which we allow to pollute our minds. So take your eyes away from the black spots in your life. Appreciate each moment and blessing that life offers you." Thanks for that to The Cure for Joy. A couple of things of interest over the last several days. Thank you so much for looking in. Been a pleasure, and we'll do it all again next week. Until then, look out for one another, and bye for now.
From the home studio of Michael Birmingham,